Personal branding is important to any professional. Doesn't matter where you are in your career. The more junior you are, the more important it is. And then part of that is because, frankly, it takes time to establish a brand. I'm Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter. I'm a career and leadership coach, a former executive recruiter. And with a term like the Big Game Hunter associated with my name, yeah, I believe in personal branding. And it's allowed me to differentiate myself when I worked in recruiting, in search, and now as a coach. It's not about the name that you have, although I chose that to make it easy for people to understand that I was different. But it's how you give and what your reputation becomes that is important. And it takes time. So if you're involved in a job search now, it may not be instrumental now, but if you do it regularly, it becomes a critical part of your background. For example, there's someone I coached during his job search 2 years ago, and one of the lessons he learned was staying in contact with people that he'd been associated with in the past, and doing things to keep them informed about how his career had evolved. You may think of that as networking, but it's also part of building reputation, and that's a big part of branding. So how do you help people get to know you? And I'm a believer in simple and easy, and as such, what I normally will tell people to do is build a simple website, not complicated, have a blog there, and then start thinking in terms of information that you might share with people. So for example, you might share something on LinkedIn if it's text-oriented or video-oriented. You might share it on YouTube and drive people back to your website. If you're in a creative field, there are other places where you can post to and then send people back to your website. But the key thing is having a website where you establish yourself and an image for yourself, and share information from there that allows people to discover you. And then using social media and social platforms to point people back to your site. Remember, a lot of what you are going to brand yourself with is how you can help others, what you can do for them. Not just, I am great, I am wonderful, but how you can help other people. How you can give value to others so that in this way they get a flavor for you. Now, I started branding myself more than 15 years ago. You start now, people will get to know you, and it doesn't mean you have to be manic about it. If you did one thing a month on your website, one article, one new post, one new image, it will help other people discover you and see it over time. And for those of you who are students, you may think in terms of you create a blog, and one thing you learned in school that relates to your new profession. I learned that one from a professor I interviewed a few months back. And I thought that was a great idea because when you're a student and you're trying to find work after graduation, to an employer, you look like all the other people. Why should they choose you? And this gives them a sense of how you think, what your opinions are. Doesn't have to be a lengthy post, but it should be a post that talks about your background. And that will help you establish a brand even as a student. I hope you found this helpful. I'm Jeff Altman. My website is thebiggamehunter.us. If you want more about branding, about job search, hiring more effectively, managing and leading, being effective in the workplace, I have thousands of posts there that can help you. And if you want one-on-one support, we can work together. Schedule a time for a free discovery call or schedule time for coaching. I can definitely help you in many different ways. And if you're not ready to do that, I'm just going to encourage you, put my web address in your phone so that in this way, when you do need help, you have a way of remembering who I am. Also, connect with me on LinkedIn or follow me on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/IN/the Big Game Hunter. And most importantly, be great. Take care.